nearly fall! Happy fall, happy autumn. Hello, heathens. Welcome or thank you for joining or coming back to my channel. Lovely to see you. I am doing a fall TBR. So here's the thing. I was going to do just September, but then I thought, let me do it for sort of the whole of fall because the amount of books that are on this TBR are, well, let's just say it's ambitious for 1 month. So I will sort of be taking these through the next season, so the next sort of 3 months. I'm not including my very, very spooky kind of October reads, Halloween reads. I'll be doing a separate video for that because I have some proper spooky, like horror, really dark romance, those kind of books. But this is more the fall vibes. So we are talking dark romance, we are talking gothic, always with the gothic. We are talking some dark fairy tale, some witchy books, and then I've got a whole bunch of new releases as well, which I'll talk about. I won't talk about them too in depth, but I'll kind of go through the new releases I want to read. So without further ado, get your pumpkin spice. They have not started pumpkin spice latte here. I'm very annoyed. I want a pumpkin spice latte. I am a basic bee. I know. Hi. Let's start. Right. So let me start with the Dark Academia books. So this first one here, Dear Reader by Tay James, this is actually more of a dark romance, Dark Academia, but I thought it fell into this category, and I made it fall into this category for 2 reasons. One, it's kind of a spooky cover, which I really, really loved. B, I've heard people reading this and loving it, so I want to jump on that bandwagon because we know how I love a bandwagon. But also C, it is set at university and there's a secret society involved. So it's about this girl who gets a scholarship to go to this prestigious university. Don't they all kind of start like that? Anyway, and then she kind of gets pulled in by her new stepbrother and his very kind of arrogant group of friends. She starts to, I think, fall in with this group and perhaps get feelings for someone, but then there's also a secret society hazing that she may be involved in. So I think this sounds really, really good. What people have been saying about this is it ends on a massive cliffhanger as well. And I think the second book is out or is just about to come out. So it's probably good timing because I've had this one for a few months. So cannot wait to read that. Then this one, I have been wanting to read this for ages and it's finally the season for it. Also, look at that cover. Does not... Okay, so this is A Great and Terrible Beauty. This is by Libba Brave. Libba Brave sounds familiar to you. And you read The Diviners, which is phenomenal. Actually, that brings me on to something. I keep saying I'm going to do my video of the books that were my favorite and I want to reread them. The Diviners is one of those series. Actually, if you just watch all my other videos, you're probably going to hear everything. Sorry. But this one is set in 1895 and it's about a girl. She's 16. Her mum passes away. And then I think she's also shipped off to England to start at this boarding school. And there she says she feels kind of like she's all alone, but she's being followed by a mysterious young man. And then it turns out that there's some supernatural powers that she may have, and this is attracting certain entities. I've heard that this is absolutely phenomenal. This is an older series by Libba Bray, but it just sounds like it's going to be perfect, and it's so totally right up my alley. Then Vita Nostra. So this is by Marina and Sergei, I can never say this, Dyachenko. And this is the one I was saying in my video on Dark Academia that has just been on my list forever to read. It's about a girl who's apparently given these gold coins while on holiday with her family and told they'll gain her entry into this really strange university. And when she gets there, everything, the lessons are incomprehensible. It's all really strange. They seem to be studying very strange otherworldly things. And I believe there's a student professor romance in here, but again, whoever's read this has kind of said it's weird, it's a trip, you've just got to go in and enjoy it, and it totally sounds like it's my kind of thing. And then this one has been on my list for ages as well, literally sit out on my bookshelves for probably years. Actually, yeah, not even probably years. So this is Madam by Phoebe Wynne. So this one, again, is about Rose. She is I think she's in her mid-20s, young teacher, and she starts teaching at this prestigious girls' school, I believe it is, like a boarding school. And she's the new head of department. She's a classics teacher. And she says that her students are all, there's some of them that are very vindictive and terrifying. And she kind of likens them to the fearless women from Greece and Roman history. So It's giving me secret history vibes here. And then it says, but as she uncovers the darkness at the heart of this university, the lines between myth and reality grow even more blurred. Doesn't that sound great? Okay, if you're me, that sounds amazing. Right, then let's talk about some Gothics. Okay, so I've got some Gothics here. The first one is V.E. Schwab's Gallant. This is one of the V.E. Schwab books I have not read. I'm going to be doing a reread of quite a few of the other ones because I read them kind of years ago and I want to reread them. So The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is on that list, but Gallant I have not read. And I mean, look at it. Is there a book that screams me more than that? I mean, that just literally, all I have to do is show the cover. Also, the inside of this book has some rather exquisite drawings in it. So I believe this is kind of Gothic dark fairy tale. So it says a hauntingly beautiful tiled garden of darkness. Gorgeous. 14-year-old Olivia Pryor is missing three things: a mother, a father, and her voice. Her only companions are the ghosts and the ghouls she sees in her mother's journal, which captured a mind in turmoil. Ooh, that sounds good. Until she receives a letter from her uncle she's never met, summoning her to the estate Gallant. But when she arrives, she discovers her uncle is goner, and the estate is empty, save for her cousin Matthew and the servants. Gallant has its secrets. Ooh, a house sitting on a lonely vigil, and a place where ghouls are powerful. I mean, does that not scream spooky season to you? That is gonna, do you mind if I just leave the video and read this right now? Because yeah, that sounds incredible. I'm really looking forward to that. Then we've got this one. This is, again, look at that cover. So this is the Book of Living Secrets by Madeleine Roux. Now, Madeleine Roux wrote some really creepy, spooky, but supposedly YA. I think this is meant to be YA as well. Kind of asylum horror books. I think it's literally called Asylum, which I loved. So I have high hopes for this, and I mean, just look at the cover. Do I have enough to say more? There's nothing like getting lost in your favorite book. Oh, okay, so I remember what this one was about. So you have these two friends who are obsessed with this particular book series, so it's giving me Long Live Evil vibes. And they go to this like particular bookstore, and they get the chance to go into their favorite book, and mayhem ensues. And I'm guessing there's going to be a bit of darkness because I know Madeleine Roux does that really well. I'm hoping it is. But does that sound great? I love books about books. And I even love books more where people get to go into their favourite books. Who doesn't want to go into their favourite book? That reminds me, I really want the follow-up to Long Live Evil. That's been pushed out to next year. I'm so disappointed. But yes, I can't wait. So I think they have to like rewrite the book or like write the story in the book in order to escape. So I think it's going to be really good. Then another exquisite Gothic cover. We have Midnight Rooms by Donyea Coles. Now, I have been afraid to read this book, full disclosure, because one was, I think I hyped it up in my mind because it's basically been described as Crimson Peak meets Pan's Labyrinth, which are two of my all-time favorite things in the entire world. Crimson Peak is literally top tier movie joy for me. So I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be incredible. But then I heard some people read it, and I think one of my subscribers said they'd read it and they didn't really like it, so I'm a little bit scared. But I'm going to face my fears and I'm going to read it. So I'll let you know what it's about. Yeah, they said it's a horror fairy tale, like a Gothic horror fairy tale, a mysterious suitor, a secluded manor, a heroine's quest to uncover the mysteries hidden behind its haunted walls. I mean, it sounds incredible. The cover is stunning. Also, this is a really, can you hear that? I'm really loving the texture on this. I could just do this all day. But yes, I'm really hoping the inside is as beautiful on the outside, and I will enjoy that. Then another fabulous cover. And I need to pull the buy one, get one half price sticker off of there. Thanks, Waterstones. This is Girls of Dark Divine by Evie Woods. So this one just sounded so kind of weird and gothic and wonderful. And it's basically, it says a puppet master wielding a dark curse, a boy made of shadows, and a girl who must sever the strings and set her sisters free. So you've got these kind of sisters that are apparently performing as like marionettes in this theatre troupe. And I don't know if someone's actually literally puppet mastering them or not. But it says they're taken to kind of this new theatre. There's apparently all sorts of dark secrets in that involved with the theatre. And obviously she's trying to break free from this puppet master. But I don't know how literal that is. it sounds really incredible. And again, I love things set around performing in theatre, particularly if it's sort of Victorian era, which this kind of sounds like it is. It may not be, but I love that sort of atmosphere. And it's kind of, again, it's perfectly gothic and perfectly spooky for the season. Then, could anything be more gothic than this? To Bleed a Crystal Bloom. Look at that cover, just to look at it. So this is by Sarah A. Parker. And again, if that sounds familiar, When the Moon Hatched. So she wrote When the Moon Hatched. I cannot wait for that second book. There's also a really nice special edition coming out that I might get. I loved When the Moon Hatched, but so I'm having high hopes for this. So this is, again, I actually, full disclosure, I read the first 30 pages because I wanted to see what it was like, and I was like, whoa, I'm loving this. So a lot of booktubers that I really love, Bailey was talking, she really loves this, was saying that this is really, really good, and it's a lot darker even though I would say When the Moon Hatched is quite dark, this is even more dark and like really gothic and kind of shades of Beauty and the Beast. And like, so you've, from the beginning of this book, this girl, now Sarah A. Parker plots are hard to explain, so I'll just explain what I read in the first 30 pages. You have this girl that she kind of gets saved by let's call him a knight, when she's small, and he takes her to his castle and he kind of raises her there, and now she's a teenager, or like 19 or something along those lines, and she's being kept in this, not as a prisoner, but she spends all her time kind of in this tower he's like a castle, and he comes every few days or whatever, and she gives him her blood through like the door, and then she never really sees him. He's always like riding away, and she's watching him from her tower, from the window, and you know, she's kind of doing this ritual where she's giving him like a cup of her blood, and it was very eerie, it was very dark, and it was just like, I was like, whoa, this is good. This is like, I mean, so I'm really, really hoping, yeah, she's 19 years old, was plucked from the heart of a bloody massacre and then spared no one else, and now she's kind of stuck in this manor. So my savior, my protector, and my almost executioner. I loved When the Moon Hatched, so that just sounds right up my alley. And then you've got this one. This is Crimson Bound. So it says, a cursed world, an ancient prophecy, and a terrible choice. Now this is by Rosamund Hodge. I have 3 count them, 3 of her books on my shelf back there. I haven't read one of them, but they all sound incredibly good. They all sound very much like dark gothic fairy tale retellings, and this one is in fact, I believe, a retelling. So this is, it says, for people that like Throne of Glass, but I believe this is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling-ish, inspired by Little Red Riding Hood. And yeah, she was 15 and she was apprenticed to her aunt in training to protect her village from dark magic. But when Rochelle was 15, she was also reckless, straying from the forest path in pursuit of a way to free her world from the threat of eternal darkness. After an illicit meeting goes dreadfully wrong, Rochelle is forced to make a terrible choice that binds her to the very evil she hoped to defeat. 3 years later, she's given her life to serving the realm, fighting deadly creatures in an effort to atone. When the king orders her to guard his son Armand, the man she hates most, Rochelle forces Armand to help her hunt for the legendary sword that might save their world. Oh, is this a bit of a King Arthur-y mush-up? Love that. Together they navigate the opulent world of the country elite, where beauty and power reign and no one can be trusted. Ooh. Yeah, inspired by classic fairy tale Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't realize it was that good. Now you know why I've got 3 of her books, because if all 3 of the synopses sound that good, I want to read them. Okay, let's leave that there for a second. Now, the other thing that I'm doing is I'm doing a Rachel Harrison-a-thon. Okay, that went terribly wrong. Also, I did have my list. You know, normally I'm not that great at actually reading my TBRs, but last month's TBR, I think there were literally only 1, 2, 3 books I didn't read. I'm impressed with myself. Sorry, it's just because it was lying there. So let's start that again. Rachel Harrison. She of So Thirsty, which I read last year, which is a wonderful Thelma and Louise, but make it vampires kind of novel. I absolutely love this. Fell in love with this wonderful vampire novel. Really recommend it. I loved it so much. I bought her entire backlist. She also has a new book coming out called Play Nice, and I believe it's coming out in October. It's either September or October. And that one is about a girl who gets left a house when her mother passes, and her mother always thought that this house was haunted. The daughter always thought that was rubbish. she's renovating the house. It may be true. So it gives me Home Before Dark vibes, okay? So I thought, in honor of that book coming out and obviously me wanting to read it for spooky season, I would read the 4 other Rachel Harrison books I have. Now, let's start with this one, The Return. I think this is the first one. I'm pretty sure I read this. It sounds so familiar to me, but I'm a little hazy, so I may reread that. Maybe halfway through I'll go, oh yes, I remember it. And then I have these 3, and particularly at the top of my list is Cackle, because I'm reading a whole bunch of witch books. I just filmed a witch video, a kind of fall vibes witch video, and I had over 30 plus books on that video. Watch out for that coming out, and take an hour of your time to watch it. And I didn't put this one on the list because I hadn't read it yet, but I have kind of a part 2 more witches coming, so you know. But yes, this one is about a woman who goes back to a town, and her hometown, and there she meets this town, little bit of an outcast, but people are afraid of her, and she may or may not be a witch. And there's a lot of spiders in here, so if you're arachnophobic. Then this one sounds particularly right up my alley because this is to do with cults, and that's all I need to know. Again, I think she goes back to a family wedding and she grew up in a cult. Yes, anything with cults. Give me all of the cults. And then this one, Such Sharp Teeth, is just giving me werewolf. And again, I've got a werewolf video coming up, so I'm looking forward to reading that. So Rachel Harris, you get me? Yeah. I thought I was being clever. I'm probably not. Moving on. So, I have got witches. Let's do witches next. Then we'll do a few new... Oh, we'll leave the new releases to end. How about that? So, I've got The Witchery. This, it just sounds so adorable. Plus, the cover is giving me Sabrina and The Craft and all things good in 90s teen witching. This is the haunting season is here and the wolves are awake. So apparently each year a curse holds the town of Hereford hostage, and with the curse comes the witches of the Coven Academy can protect the town, but Iris, Julia and Talia, powerful young witches, intend to stop the curse once and for all. So we've got young witches fighting a curse, and clearly a witch school that I'm in. I'm totally in. Right, then, it's called Autumn of the Grimoire. I think, I can just drop the mic there. So this is by J.L. Vamper. Now, I have just read Exorcism of Fairies by J.L. Vamper. Oh, my gosh. Wow, was there a book was ever written for me? Literally, J.L. Vamper sat down and said, let me write a book for Joe. There you go. Enjoy. It was phenomenal, so I cannot wait to get this. This is a series. The second I've got on my shelf there is Winter of the Wicked. So what I'm planning to do is to read Autumn of the Grimoire now, and then when sort of November rolls around, I'm going to read Winter. I believe there's Spring and Summer as well, so I may not be able to wait, but that's the idea for these 2 at least. So this is about 4 witches that kind of rule everything to do with the world, and they have kind of powers of the world and nature. And I think in this one, our Autumn witch has to go and marry a prince. Not that she wants to, but that may save the world. I'm not sure. But it's J.L. Vamper. It says Autumn. It's witches. Like I said, drop the mic. And then this one, I know I'm the last person at the party with this, but this is Slewfoot by Bram, okay? Again, been on my shelves for quite a while, and it just looks so good, and I don't know why I haven't read it. I don't know what's wrong with me. So Bram also does this incredible artwork. Now let me see if I can find, can you say, look at that. Bram does all the artwork for their books as well. This is about a witch sort of in an ancient wood, burning witches, that kind of thing, like historical witches, female rage. Apparently it's amazing. Everybody I hear review this says it's incredible, so I cannot wait to read that. Then, bear with me. Oh, I've got... No, I said get comfortable. There's a lot of books. So... a book, this one, okay, so one of my subscribers, Andrew, has just read this book. So in his comments, he said he'd read this book, Wild and Wicked Things by Francesca May. And I was like, say less. I have that on my shelves. Have I read it? No, but I have it on my shelves. So I'm going to read it. It's also set in the 20s, and it's kind of giving me slight Gatsby vibes. It says, in the world of the 1920s, decadence and excess, Francesca May's irresistible debut weaves a dazzling tale of dark magic, romance, and... So, I mean, literally, that was all I needed to know. Apparently, you've got Crow Island. I mean, again, how spooky can you get? The place is called Crow Island. And this is where the elite go. And apparently, there's these mysteries on Crow Island. And there's these mysterious families. So, it's giving me Saltburn vibes there. And apparently, there's illicit magic going on. I'm in. I'm totally in. Also, Francesca May has got a brand new release. I think it's called This Vicious Hunger. That looks phenomenal. And I literally just saw it in Waterstones today while I was not picking up more books. Yeah. I don't get like frequent. No, I do actually get points. But literally, there should be trumpets every time I walk in. Anyway, I'm getting way above my own station here. But that looks incredible as well. And it looks perfectly gothic and spooky. So if I enjoy this, I actually want to get to this really soon, because if I enjoy this, I'm going to purchase the other one, because I want to be good like that. If I don't like the writing, does anyone believe me when I say these things? We've got Spellbound. This is by Georgia Layton, and what I remember about this, I bought this earlier this year, and I was really excited to read this kind of in this season, because this is kind of like a dark fairy tale retelling. It's, I think, a Sleeping Beauty retelling, but kind of from a feminist lens where the princess has to save herself. And I was just like, yes, I'm in. It's also called Spellbound, and which just makes me think of the song. If you know, you know. Then, another book that's been sitting on my shelves for years, literal years, is this one. This is Poison Priestess by Lana Harper. So, this is Lana Popovic, who is also Lana Harper. She writes under Lana Harper, and she has a witch series that, Payback's a Witch. It was in my witch recommendations video. I literally just read it. So good. I want to read the other books in that series. But this is when she was writing under Lana Popovic. And I recall I read another book by her that's also witches, Wicked Like a Wildfire. And I read that years ago, and I loved that book. So when I saw this on my shelf, I was like, why have you not read this yet? Also, side note, there's another book in the series called Blood Countess. And it's loosely based on Elizabeth Bathory, which I read years ago and I loved, because anything based on Elizabeth Bathory. This one sounds incredible. I believe this is about so in 17th century Paris, and 19-year-old Catherine is a well-heeled jeweler's wife with a peculiar taste for the arcane. Oh, I love a girl that dabbles in magic. She lives a comfortable life, far removed from her childhood of abject destitution, until her kind spendthrifting of a husband lands them both in debt. Idiot. No, I added idiot, it wasn't in the blurb. Hell-bent on avoiding a return to poverty, Catherine must rely on her prophetic visions and the grimoire gifted to her by a talented diviner to reinvent herself as a sorceress. That's all I want to know. That just sounds great. So I'm going to read that. Then we have The Darkness Between Us. This is by Jess Popplewell. And again, I've been meaning to read this since last spooky season, because although this is a YA, this sounds deliciously dark. So it says, Jenny's felt broken for a long time. Luke has his own issues. You would too, if your family ruled hell. That's just Lucifer meets Sabrina, right? When they meet at a party, sparks fly. She sees a handsome devil. He sees a lost soul. Both sense trouble. But it'll take a journey to the very depths of the underworld to bring a girl, a demon together. Okay, side note, I love anything set in hell. Kingdom of the Wicked, probably my favorite romantasy ever. Lucifer, Sabrina. I mean, are you as excited as I am? I don't think anybody can get excited as I am, but we'll try. Then this is another one I'm meaning to read for ages. Say it with me. This is The Death of Jane Lawrence. Take a drink every time I say that. Don't, you'll be very drunk. Or do, enjoy yourself. The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starlin. Now, again, this is a jewel box of a gothic novel. And it was longlisted for the Bram Stoker Award. So that all got me interested. But I believe you've got our main character, Jane. She is kind of practical and pragmatic. And she lets herself get, because I think we are talking about like the Victorian era. She, you have to marry as a woman or just be a wonderful witchy outcast, as I would do. But she has to get married. So she chooses a very practical husband, which she thinks is a very practical choice of a husband. But then I believe her husband tells her, cool, we'll get married, but you have to stay over here. You can never come to this house of mine. Why? That sounds dodge. And slay she goes, I think. Something like that. But there's a mystery going on there about the house and what he's hiding. So I think this sounds fantastic. Again, it's just all of the stuff that I love. And also, I may read Starving Saints if I enjoy this, because I keep looking at that cover of Starving Saints. It's her new book and it looks so, so good. And then in a very, very similar vein, I think at least, Bluebeard's Castle. And this is by Anna Biller. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you and you love witch movies like me, you will know that she's the director of The Love Witch, which is another one of my all-time favorite films ever, and everyone should watch it. It's incredible. But this is her debut novel, I believe. She wrote this. So this is a modern retelling of the classic Bluebeard's Castle. And you've got our main girl here, Judith Moore. She's a mystery writer. Fantastic. I love books about writers. And she meets Gavin, a handsome and charming baron on the Cornish coast. And after a whirlwind honeymoon, he takes her back to his castle. And then it says that Judith battles both internal and external demons, including, psychological self-torture, gaslighting, family neglect. Oh, there's a lot of triggers in here. You may want to look up the triggers, addiction. The answer can be found in the tortured mind of the protagonist, whose richly layered family life parallel that of the female Gothic romance reader. I mean, yes, that sounds amazing. If this book is anything, I must have done a taste test on it. If this book is anything like her film, I'll be happy. Then, I have 2 books by the same author. These books here. I don't know if I'll be able to get to both of them, but this is When the Bones Sing and Dark and Shadow Lies, both by Ginny Myers Sen. They're both set in Louisiana, I believe, and they're both to do with a string of unalivings that are happening, and these girls that are investigating it. But I believe one of them is like psychic, and the other one has something to do with, she says she's got a special talent. She can hear the bones of the deceased. And this one says when she makes a connection with the people going missing, there's a mystery of magic in the bayou and her family history of magic and the bayou. So again, nothing screams fall and spooky season like Louisiana, the bayou. Thank you, Anne Rice, Poppy Zine Bright, and the originals. So I really want to read at least one of those books. And then I also have, I'm not even going to do the synopsis because everybody knows these books just except me, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Apparently the second one is set in August. So if I enjoy the first one and I want to read the second one, I've kind of got to get to them post-haste. Are you still here? If you're still here, leave me a falling leaves emoji. Also, the light has gotten a lot darker because the sun is setting. Then I have this pile of new releases. So I'm not gonna give the synopses. I'm literally just gonna run through these. So Ava Reed's A Theory in Dreaming, follow up to the Study in Drowning. Diabound! Sable Horizons. I got this gorgeous. You can't see it. The lighting's terrible. When I show this, I'll show it properly. But Diabound, cannot wait. Then this is The Fallen. Oh God, these titles are always so long. The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. This is the next book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. And again, that's a gorgeous special edition. Then we've got The Book of Heartbreak. And this is by Overgreen. And this came with not only its own bookmark, but its own pack of stickers. Thank you, Waterstones. That is awesome. And this, again, sounds incredibly spooky and perfect for the season. How gorgeous is that cover? This is what I picked up today. A Land So Wide. This is Erin A. Craig. I love Erin A. Craig's books. Her writing, they are gothic and dark and fairy tale-esque and spooky and in the vein of Ava Reed, Alexis Henderson, Lyndall Clipstone, all of my favorite authors. I don't even know what this book is about. She is a auto purchase for me, so... But it just looks, I mean, it screams spooky season, so there you go. On Wings of Blood, Bravo, and I have been dying to read this. I started it this morning. Okay, I am, how far? I know I'm not far. Well, I'm like about 50 pages in. I am obsessed. I am obsessed. I cannot wait to talk about this. I might need to vlog this because I really am obsessed. Then another perfectly spooky, perfectly autumnal. I'm trying to find the best camera angle here. This is Hemlock and Silver. Again, gorgeous special edition. T. Kingfisher's new book. Again, I think this is about a woman who uses potions and poisons, and it's a Snow White no, is it Snow White retelling? Something to do with Snow White, but it says arsenic, whitethorn, apple, and wolfsbane, so she deals in poisons. But I think she's trying to heal with the poisons. But that just looks incredible. And then I broke down and bought Calabasas by R.F. Khan. I'll be honest, I was not going to read this. And then I was like, wait, that's not, because the other books haven't really appealed to me, but this one, the synopsis was like, it is hell. They are going to hell. It's dark academia where these students are going to hell to find their professor. I was like, sign me up. Sign me up. I mean, those are all buzzwords for me. And that's it. Let me know what you were reading this fall. If you have any great fall recommendations. If you're still here, like I said, leave me some fall leaves or a witch or something to say that you're here. Like and subscribe if you do enjoy my videos. I'd love to see you again. Love making these videos. Love talking about books. Like I said, just leave me comments down below, any conversations, any recommendations, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Happy fall!